Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nemopack. How are you guys doing today? How's life? If you guys remember, last episode we ran into a little bit of an issue with power generation, meaning that we are consuming a total of 500,000 RF per tick, but we are generating only 140,000. Okay, I do admit, a little bit of RF problem was probably an understatement. We have a little bit of a setup over here which is making us ethylene, and I did notice that it's enough in order to power 3 of these gas burning generators, and each one of them is going to give us, I don't know, like 70,000 RF per tick. In this mod pack we do not have that many methods of generating RF. Basically what we have is gas burning generators, which is what we are using. Then we have the fission reactor from mechanism, which is going to generate us steam, and then maybe we can use it inside the turbine. And finally, we have the fusion reactor, which would be the best option, but the problem is, it needs polonium. Fun fact of the day, you need a lot of RF in order to get polonium. So we need a temporary solution of generating around 1 million RF per tick, and this is going to be the temporary solution. We have 8 PRCs which are going to generate us ethylene, and we are going to have somewhere around 16 gas burning generators which are going to give us round about 1 million RF. Oh, and by the way, this is neither upgraded nor complete. This is exactly the same design that we have over there, which I repeated 4 times, and we are just getting the hydrogen and water. We need to provide it with biofuel, and that is going to be a challenge. Aha, I have found it, yes. As you might notice from your surrounding area, this was actually not my first design. We had 2 designs before this, and one of them actually gave us somewhere around 11,000 melons. And I just remembered I basically just covered it, so the drawer should be somewhere around here. That is probably going to last us for around, I don't know, 20 minutes, and after that, well, we need to generate much more melons. So for the moment, you come with me. The way that we got this is that I had 30 garden cloches. Enjoying the sun? At first I set up the garden cloches over here, and then I noticed that they are causing a little bit of a lag. So maybe this time we're going to set them up in the nether. If we do set them up in the nether, they are still going to cause lag, but at least my FPS should not be affected. That is half a stack of garden cloches. We just need to hook them up. I forgot that my base is not chunk loaded. Okay. Wait a minute. Things do not work in the nether? They do. You just don't see the water. Weird. Yeah, all of them have water, but you don't see any water. Okay, that's fine by me as long as it works. Well, one thing that I forgot to mention is that why are we using melons? If you look at the recipe of biofuel in a crusher, well, you can get different values. The thing is, for melons, if you put the entire block inside the crusher, you're going to get 5 biofuel. But if you put a melon slice, you're gonna get 4. And on average, whenever you're breaking a melon block, you're getting somewhere between 5 and 7 melon slices, so this is much more efficient. Which brings us to an actual question: how do we get melon slices? You can't put them inside a crafting grid. I'm talking. So it has to be placed down and then broken. And you see, we got 7. Just for testing purposes, let us give this guy an anchor upgrade so that I can test everything in the nether. And basically what we're going to do is that we're going to use applied energistics. So all the melons that are made in the garden cloches are going to go inside an interface. There you go. That is a decent amount. It's been like 15 minutes. Of course, this is applied energistics, so it does require a controller. And what we're going to do is that we're going to have a formation plane, which automatically places down the melon, and one annihilation plane. You might notice that the melons are actually not being broken because there is no space in the system to place down the melon slices. So basically what we're going to do is that we're going to have a storage bus over here, and then put my drawer on top. Now it's being broken, and it's being deposited inside the drawer. And I would say it's relatively fast. Anyways, that is not all we have to do. We also need to export it into a crusher. It is not upgraded at this very moment, but it's going to generate us a lot of biofuel. And that quantum entangloporter that you see over there has a chunk loader, so this entire place will be chunk loaded. Also, I don't remember if I have mentioned this or not, but quantum rings in this mod pack do not work across dimensions. And why is that important? Well, it is important because now we need to transfer those biofuel into the overworld using a quantum entangloporter. I also applied all the upgrades, so we are done in the nether. We can go home. Just for symmetry purposes, I need 3 more quantum entangloporter, and we are not doing very great on lapis. So I believe the only thing that we have to do is to export the biofuel into the PRCs. And yes, they are making us ethylene. At a very slow speed, which I have to fix later on. Don't you worry, it's a very easy fix, I just need to apply upgrades. That's it. Why is there hydrogen inside? I don't know. There is still hydrogen inside. How do I remove that? Okay, I think you have to break the central block. But just in case, I also broke the valves, so I think we're good. Still hydrogen inside, okay. It's not incredibly important because I had to remove the tank anyways, but I was just confused. Everywhere I dig, I find some of my old infrastructure. Okay, we need to remove this one. So our entire ethylene production goes inside the quantum entangler porter and we can extract it over here. And there you go, that is ethylene. In total, I think we're going to have 14 gas-burning generators, so this should be enough space. Anyways, let me upgrade everything, add more gas-burning generators, and I'll be right back. Hello? That was last man standing. So I have a good news and a bad news. Let us focus on the good news first. Well, I have upgraded everything to the fullest, and we have 18 gas-burning generators. That is almost 1.3 million RF. And you might notice that this is how fast we are generating ethylene, so even if all of them run at the same time at maximum capacity, we should be able to keep up. Also, the chemical infusers that we thought are consuming 80,000 RF per tick are actually consuming somewhere around 200,000. But with this setup, we should be able to power our chemical infusers, we should be able to make fissile fuel, and we should be able to mine for resources. What is the bad news? Well, it's in the nether. When I kickstarted the gas-burning generators, we had 15.7 thousand pieces of melon. Now we have 14,000.5. That is not good at all. I want a reliable power source, so we need more garden cloches. It has been a while later and I did add more garden cloches and we are having a net gain. It's not very significant, but it's acceptable, meaning that for the moment our power generation is going to be sustainable and we are also gaining ethylene. That is good. Also, I have a feeling that you guys are done, right? Yep. Oh, they leave out the dungeons. That's interesting. What's inside? A bit of gunpowder. Not the worst. What the hell? You don't look very friendly. Bunny hoppers. No. You know, in hindsight, what I should have done is that I should also mine the gravel and even the cobblestone. Cause you know, basically in order to get gunpowder, I'm converting stone into cobblestone, cobblestone into gravel, and gravel into sand. So therefore, we also take the sand. Also, in the comments of the previous episode, some of you guys were suggesting that I should probably try and get sulfur from other sources, like mobs. The problem is, we need millions, and I cannot get millions from mobs. This is a really grindy and stupid way of getting it, but that's the only choice. Just as a very small example, this is how fast I'm consuming sulfur. One more thing that we should definitely do is to try and find a source for uranium. In this mod pack, if we use an excavator from immersive engineering, the resources are going to be infinite, so they're not going to run out after like 72 hours, as they would normally do. So we just need to find one source, and we cannot find the source unless you're set on output. My bad. I can't read that. What? Let me Google. So we don't need to drill for a sample every single time. What we need to do is to make a mineral survey tool, and if we hold right click, it will tell us what kind of ore is over here. This is not something incredibly useful, it's iron and nickel. This is also iron and nickel. This is copper. Cinnabar is nice. It will give us redstone and sulfur. But it's not a very consistent supply of sulfur because it's going to be incredibly slow. But we need the redstone anyways. What is silt? Okay. I don't really need that. Because you should remember, excavators are not the fastest thing in the world. Again, copper, galena. Not useful. Also, coal is not very useful. What we are looking for is uranite. It's not going to give us uranite, it's just going to give us uranium and lead. Igneous rock. Okay. Am I looking for this in the wrong place? It says you can find it in the overworld. Ladies and gentlemen, we found it. Let us take a sample and see if it's a garbage vein or it's actually worth excavating. Please be a good one. Please. Saturation almost 80%. Okay, it's actually not a garbage vein, but I was hoping to find something better. Yeah, this is garbage. 30% saturation. I think here's what we're going to do. This is one chunk. We don't have to have one excavator, we can have 4. And that should be plenty of uranium. Although now we need to start making an excavator. And I do remember that a radiator block was painful, yes. Well, it's not that bad. We shall use the last of our lapis in order to make more control circuits. The blocks are not that expensive for us anymore. Assembling it was a pain, but we have 2 of them for the moment and I'm relatively happy. I did not mess it up. Great. Oh, and by the way, the reason that I said that radiator blocks are expensive for us is that at first I wanted to go with diesel generators rather than ethylene, and at that point in time, this was pretty expensive. Now we have this on auto-crafting, so it's fine. So you, my dear friend, you're going to get power, or at least that's how I think you get power. Are you actually digging? Yes, you are digging. I did bring some barrels, just in case. When do we get to the good stuff? Oh, that is uranium. Yes, finally. And we also get lead. But you might also notice that this is why I'm saying that these guys are not going to be a viable option in order to get gravel, sand, clay, or I don't know, even sulfur. Because this is the speed. It's not very good. It's like 1 every 2 seconds. And this is 1, I don't know, every half a second. Also, it seems you cannot have 2 excavators in one chunk. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Is that a new change, or was it always like this? I have no idea. I always use them for aesthetics. And I would like to remind you that for aesthetic purposes, they don't really need to function. If that is the case, I should find 1 more uranite. But just before I forget, we need 1 anchor upgrade, because that stupid thing is actually far away from our base. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to mention is that there is no lapis vein. So I have no idea how to solve our lapis issues. But for the moment, you come with me. I did manage to find 1 more vein of uranite, and it's a little bit better than the previous one. That one was 79% and I think this one was 80 something? Yes, 80.42. So it's not significantly better, but it's not that bad. But now that we have access to uranium, we need to start processing it. The thing is, I don't really need the lead. And of course, whenever you put down the chute, everything is just going to fall down. We don't want to get rid of everything, we just want to get rid of the lead. That goes in lava. It's a very good thing that I decided to put the chute first and then place down the lava, cause otherwise we would have lost a lot. We also need 2 logistical sorters, thank you, because we need to extract the uranium and put it inside a quantum entangler for further processing. Both of them are hooked up to a quantum entangler, and now we need to start quintupling uranium. And the question is, how do we do that? Okay, we are going to need a chemical dissolution chamber that goes inside a chemical washer, that goes inside a chemical crystallizer, chemical injection chamber, purification chamber, crusher, enrichment chamber, smelting factory. That's a lot of machines. But on a very positive note, we have them in order. Fun fact of the day, we're out of circuits. Okay, we're out of gold. Maybe I should have left this guy on auto crafting, but it's okay. I think for the moment we should be able to manage. Yeah, we will get 1 stack. That's it. So maybe instead of ore quintupling, I should focus on something much more important. Ores. That is infinite uranium. We're not going to get infinite fluorite. And these guys are mainly focused on getting us stone. Don't get me wrong, they are also getting us tons of ores, but they are incredibly slow because they have to mine literally everything. So is there a possibility of having 4 more digital miners? Yes. And is there a possibility of having 7 more quantum entangler porters? I'm guessing no. Yeah, we need 58 and 4 lapis. I was going to say we can wait a little bit, but it's okay. We have lapis here. And obviously I can fortune it and get a bajillion. That's exactly the same as enrichment chamber. Okay. It's okay, I'm not going to complain. We needed 4, we have 24. It's just that I need 58 of you, which is going to take some time. I don't really understand. Why do I have so much sulfur? I think I remember we're burning coal. Yes. That is true. Well, at least for the moment, can you give me like 3 of them? Okay, good. So again, as usual, we're going to have 4 digital miners, which are going to only mine us ores. And can you cheat and copy and paste the settings? Oh, perfect. I didn't know that. And since this time we're actually just looking for ores, I think I'm going to do something like this. So we're going to have 1 over here, and then I will go 4 chunks and put the other one over here. I have set up all 4 digital miners. They are fully upgraded. And we just have to activate them. Although some of them are missing the speed upgrade, but that's not going to be a problem. Each one of them is going to mine almost 11,000 ores, and that's not a bad yield. It's just that this is not fast enough. I have a feeling that if we use a logistical transporter, it will be faster. Is it? Yes, much better. What if I use 2? Oh yeah, that's crazy fast. Cause you know, the quantum entangler has a limit on how much it can extract automatically. We're just giving it a little bit of help. Although the main question is, are you guys okay? Not the best. We have a huge backlog of ores and that could take some time. What if we use a storage bus? Will it be any better? Not really. You know, 90% of my problems would have been solved if we had ender chests. That's it. It has been a while later and our ore situation has been improved by a little bit. We had a backlog and once that was gone, well, we are doing better. Why are we getting rock crystals? Anyways, we are not doing amazing on circuits, but we do have a few. So let us work on the machines that we need and see how far we can get. Actually, I think the chemical crystallizer was the final expensive one, right? Oh no, it's this one. Well, at least on a positive note, the rest of them do not require any circuits. We have all the machines that we are going to need, and most importantly, we have hydrogen chloride, which is a pain to get, as well as sulfuric acid, which is a bigger pain to get. And I think we're going to set up everything over here. So we start with a chemical dissolution chamber. We are going to have a quantum entangloporter, set it to uranium. You should get uranium, yes. In addition to uranium, this guy is also going to require sulfuric acid. That combination is going to give us the dirty uranium slurry, which has to be washed. Which washing it basically means we need to have water. So there's a sink and that will give us clean uranium slurry, which we have to put it inside a crystallizer in order to get crystals. Are we? Yes. Actually, this is one of the items that we need in order to make uranite, which we need it in order to make the endgame recipe. So this part that you see over here is ore quintupling. 1 uranium ore is going to give us 5 crystals. This part with a chemical injection chamber is ore quadrupling. And that part is going to require hydrogen chloride, which we just need to export. Yes, very good. Basically, you can give it crystals, it will give you the shard, or you can give it the uranium ore, and it will give you 4 shards. But you might think that we are done. No, of course not. Now we need to have a purification chamber, which I think it needed oxygen. That's too far. Is there a possibility to have 2 quantum entangloporters? Maybe 1? Because I can take this one. We're missing 7. Okay. Actually, this time we're not out of lapis. We're out of rose quartz, which is perfectly fine. I have already ordered 200. Here is 7. Well, I need to steal oxygen from somewhere, and I thought we take it from here, because we're only consuming the hydrogen, the oxygen we're just voiding. So here is our uranium clump. That is ore tripling. We have to put it inside the crusher, then it goes inside an enrichment chamber, and finally into the smelter. So there you go. This is our ore quintupling setup. We just have to upgrade everything, but I don't really have the resources. I mean, I have for the upgrades, not for the tier installers. Let me see. Yes, upgrades are not very expensive. We can afford them very easily. Why do I have an extra one left? I don't know, I just missed the machine. That's it. Also, basic tier installers do not require any complicated circuits, so we should be able to do that. And since we're only processing uranium, we can put auto sort on. And the guy who is consuming hydrogen chloride can accept gas upgrades. Also the guy who's using oxygen. Well, that is fine by me. We have a decent supply of uranium. We have a bit of a situation. We're not processing uranium fast enough. This barrel was full and everything was just popping out. I'm not sure if that was because of a backlog or not, but maybe we should fix it. Here is the thing, what was that? A chicken? Here is the point. This guy is making us 1 bucket of dirty uranium slurry, and it's doing it relatively fast. Washing it in a chemical washer is also super fast, but that 1 bucket of clean uranium slurry is 5 crystals, and this is the speed that we're getting 1 crystal. A crystallizer does not have a factory version, so if we want it to go faster, we need to add more. The question is, how do we add more? Slurry is a gas, right? Yes. Okay, that actually helped us a lot with the backlog, but now we need to extract this, which should be super easy. We just put you on output, and I do have a quantum entangloporter. Although one thing that does not make me very happy is that this ultimate pressurized tube holds too much slurry. And that is a huge waste of sulfuric acid, which is incredibly expensive for us, so we're going to switch it with a basic pressurized tube because each one of these can hold 8,000 millibuckets. So far so good. We have 12,000 uranium. Well, most of it is not because of this, but you know, in general, that's a huge improvement. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.